We have completed part one of our task. That was to get promoted from the Eredivise. Today, we look at the season that has just gone and have a quick review. And then we'll be looking to see who and what we need to bring in if we are to establish ourselves as a Eredivisie side. Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Going Dutch, as we try and turn around a Dutch side that's been relegated from the Eredivisie, in this case Waalwijk, as we try to return them to the top flight and leave them as an established side. And this is our journey. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you the end of season review 2024-25 as we endeavour to get Waalwijk not only returned to the Eredivisie but established as an Eredivisie side. And of course we have the transfer special, which we'll be trying to bring in some players that are going to A, shore up the team, and B, make them a force to be reckoned with in the Eredivisie. Can we do that in the rebuild? Well, you're going to have to follow the rest of the season series to check it out and find out whether we actually achieve our target with FM 25 coming along the tracks very, very quickly. We're about, when I'm recording it on the 2nd of September, which means that we're probably just about a month and a half away from getting the beta version of FM 25, just a little bit more than that, probably towards the end of October. Should be there or thereabouts. Right, so without any more to do, let's get into it. We've got the end of season review, as we normally do, a deep dive into the table, how the season went, and then of course we'll be looking at incomings, transfers in, and of course previewing the brand new season in the Eredivisie. Will we be able to achieve our targets? That's what we want to set out to do. Don't forget, if you enjoyed today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the series so far, let me know what you'd like me to see me do in FM 25 as well. And that all helps me here on YouTube as well. And the best way of keeping up to date with everything that's going on the channel is follow me on X at JustOffsideFM. You'll see that I am wearing the Dutch away kit that they wore in the Euros. The Euros. It's a fake one, but you can watch the video of how long it's taken to get here and so on and so forth. Should be out on Wednesday, so look out for that one. Right, let's get on with it. Let's get into it. We have the end of season review first up. But just to recap, for those who perhaps are joining us at this stage of the series, the whole premise of the series is to get Waalwijk, this side here in Holland. They were in the Eredivisie, got relegated to the second league, the Keukenkampioen, and they've been down there. Our task was, at the end of the season, was to bring them back up again, and then try and establish them as an Eredivisie first division side. And as you'll see, we did actually complete the task at first attempt. 81 points from 38 games, 23 games won, 12 draws, 3 losses. Those 3 losses to Eindhoven, a 2-1 loss, 1-0 loss to Breda, and a 2-0 loss to Young AZ. We'll deep dive into that. 83 goals for, 34 goals against. That's a goal difference of plus 49. And as I said, 81 points. It was a good season, all things being equal, and we'll do a bit more of a draft into that in a moment. But like always on our end of season reviews and transfer specials, we always start with the end of season review, and today is no different. Let's go and have the end of season review. And here we are in the end of season review screen. And, just trying to work out what my next thingy is, really. That's the one we want. Right. End of season review 24-25, and we always start with the new arrivals. We have a look at the players that have come in, the players that have done well, the players that haven't done so well, and obviously that gives us a bit of an inkling on what we want to do during the transfer window. Star signing of the season. Ball delighted with the deal signing Viscara, apparently. I don't know why we've got that highlighted at the moment. But star signing was Lex Tiger Lobinger. He come in from Kaiserslautern. I think he came in as a free agent, to be fair, but we'll check that out in a moment. In fact, we'll check that now. He came in. Yeah, he came in on a free. He was released by Kaiserslautern and from Germany. Played in Germany all his life, and come here, had a good season. So why has that just jumped around now? What's going on here? Goodness me. Let's go. So that's better. Right, so Lex Tiger Lobinger, he come in and made 18 appearances, 13 from the bench, scored 16 goals. So not quite a goal a game from his starting anyway. 4 assists, a 7.19. And he turned out to be very, very useful up front. The other player that came in, Christian Listes from Eintracht Frankfurt. We had him on loan. Won't be having him on loan next season because they won't let us have him. Basically because we didn't play him in the right place and all that. Whatever. Made 32 appearances, 4 from the bench, 13 goals he scored, but he contributed 8 assists. So he contributed 21 goals all told, 7.15 for him. So he did very well. And then we had Farouk Lamiri from Eindhoven, 14 appearances, 13 from the bench, a 6.99. Terence Kongaloo came from Fulham. He was 30 appearances, 3 from the bench, 4 assists he made, 6.95. Tomashnikov got off to a reasonable start, but then seemed to drop away and didn't play a lot of games, most of them from the bench latterly. Made 8 appearances, 13 from the bench, 6 goals, 1 assist, a 6.94. Selmani came in from Tirana. 11 appearances he made until he sort of fell down the pecking order. Vesson taking up the lead goalkeeper, 6.94 for him. Matty Pollock, 6.92, came from Watford, 37 appearances, 3 from the bench. Again, I don't think we'll be having him on loan next season. 3 goals, 1 assist. And then Jur Shrivers came from Denise, 27 appearances, 12 from the bench, 2 goals, 7 assists. He contributed 9 goals, 6.90. Viscara came from the strongest, 32-year-old goalkeeper. Only made 6 appearances, didn't really live up to expectations, 6.85. And I'm thinking quite possibly we will need to move him on. Omar Rekic came from Arsenal, 23-year-old centre-back. Had quite a good season, 14 appearances, 15 from the bench, 1 assist, a 6.82 for him. And then Valid Old Chica really never got going, and I think he probably could do, but didn't really make it as we hoped. Paid £33,500 for him, 13 appearances, 1 from the bench, a bit of a panic thing, 1 goal, 1 assist, a 6.67. Didn't, as I say, live up to expectations realistically. Players going out, I'm not going to go into great depths with these. Romotero has gone to FC Groningen. I think he might have even moved on again, actually. Solanese to Sparta Rotterdam. Takadine went to Us Agar. Adway went to Westerlo. Falida went to Zwolle. Schutens, a lot of these players went, I think, before we came in, Millwall. And Spenterlink went to Groningen. But out of all of those players, Romato, the only player really to score over 7 on a rating, scored 4 goals, 3 assists from 19 appearances and 10 from the bench. This is how our season unfolded. The Kuchen Campion, the board expected us to finish in the top half. I think they're quite pleased, the board pleased that the team won the Kuchen Campion Divise this season. First, average of 5,188 in their top scorer, Lex Lobinger, 15 goals, and confirmation of where we are. So we'll have a deep dive into this table in just a short while. In the Dutch Cup, we got all the way through to the semi-final. Was it the final, in fact, against PSV Eindhoven? We did very, very well. 6-2 win against Vaal. 4-2 win. Both these teams in the Eredivise. 4-2 win against Roda Kerkrade. Both those away, of course. Then Groningen we beat 3-2 away from home. And then we had the last two rounds at home. Eindhoven, 2-1 win against them. And 2-2 draw against Excelsior Rotterdam, beating them on penalties to get through to the final, losing only 1-0 to PSV Eindhoven. So we were runners-up in the Dutch Cup. Never got through to the final before. So I think all we were expected to be was competitive. The season then panned out like this. The biggest win was a 5-0 win against Den Bosch. Beerhout, Selenase, Schepperman, latterly weren't with us, Pollock and Oakley, the scorers on that occasion. And the match to remember was the Dutch Cup against Vaal when we beat them 6-2. Latonda, Listes getting a brace, an own goal from Schneider, Beerhout and Lobinger, the scorers on that occasion. I think that was possibly when we realised Lobinger might be a good replacement for Beerhout. And then, of course, goal of the season come from Verreaux in a match against MVV Maastricht. Minute into injury time, then Lobinger to Gari. Gari pulls it back to Rekic. Schepperman to Verreaux. Verreaux from about 30 yards out and places it past the goalkeeper to give us a 1-0 lead at half-time against Maastricht. And we went on Lobinger on 49 and Den Bosch on 57, getting the win there. But, of course, that was goal of the season. We'll see it again. Let's see it again. Lobinger, Gari. It was really, really good. Schepperman Verreaux just sort of teed himself up and blasted it. And a lovely clean shot. As always with Football Manager, I do think there's probably other goals that were quite good. I think probably something we should do when we get into FM25 is almost have a goal of the month and then goal of the season. From that month's games and pick out the ones that we think are the best and get you guys to vote on them. I think that's probably a very good idea. Right. Finances then. It was signed a new sponsorship deal. Most stuff was up. Sponsorship was up. Corporate and hospitality was up. Match day doesn't really sort of say. Prize money was down slightly. Only 590. Well, it would be because it dropped out of the Eredivise. And match day commercial was up very, very slightly. Shirt sales, 2,455 shirts. Shrivers seem to have the best shirt, then to Mesnikov, Oakley, Verreaux and Lobinger. The shirts for the season. This is how we generally lined up. Vassen in goal, Congolou, Pollock and Van der Boij across the back line. Latonda and Shrivers are the wide players. I don't think that's strictly true, but Oakley and Verreaux is true in midfield. Listes and Selenase are the wide players, with Lobinger being the preferred from the season best 11 up front. And that is how we pretty much formed up most of the time. Awards then. Lobinger was player of the season, a 7.2 rating. Young player of the season, Listes. Signing of the season, we've already discussed. It was Lobinger. Goal of the season, we've seen it from Patrick Verreaux. Top goal scorer, Lobinger, 16 goals in the league. Latonda, 12 assists. Listes, 7 player of the matches. Average rating, Lobinger, 7.2. And Lemure with the most passes in 90 minutes. 69 passes. Any competition awards? Not as yet. Beerhout broke the record for 4 goals in a game. He also got 4 goals in a league match. Most assists by a player in the season was Latonda, 12. and Listes player of the matches 7. So they were all breaking records. We'll have a look at the table properly in a moment, but we did win the Keukenkampioen-Divisie title, and Gino Vermeulen from the Dutch Football Post said this: once RKC Waalwijk got rolling midway through the season, it looked hard to stop them going on to this success. Right, we won't do the timeline right now, but that is our review of the season as given to us. What we're going to do now is we're going to have a proper look at this table. As you'll see, there are playoff games being played. So let's go into the league table. First thing I'd like to do, because this is unusual to the Dutch league, Dutch second league anyway, was the periods. So we can break it up into the season into quarters, basically. The first quarter of the season, Willem got the playoff spot because, as you know, by the first 9 games and then the next 10 games and so on, the team that's done the best from each quarter gets guaranteed playoff place. Willem II got that playoff place. They won out of the 9 games, 7-1, 1 drawn, 1 lost, 22 points from their first 9 games. We were third at that point, having lost 1 game, drew 3, and that's where we dropped out 18. And that was the first quarter, the first period, if you like. Second period, we won the second period. 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 25 points on the board. Breda did pretty much the same as us, but we just outspun them basically on goal difference for that second period. As it was in the end, didn't matter because we were promoted automatically, but it still pans out. Third period, Excelsior got there ahead of Den Bosch, and they had 6 wins, 3 draws, no losses, 21 points they put on the board in the third quarter. Notice that Willem II's way down here, 17th best. We were third again from the third quarter. So consistent, third, first, third. And then in the fourth period, we again finished third. Willem II having a far better fourth quarter, losing 2 matches, winning 7, drawing 1, 22 points they put on the board. Had they not already guaranteed themselves a playoff place, they would have guaranteed it. So it would have gone to the next team, which is NAC Breda. They had 6 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, 21 points they picked up. And as I said, we were third again. So third, first, third through the season. And that is how it all panned out. Let's have a proper look at the league table then as it finished. We were champions on 81 points, been through there. Excelsior finished in second place on 73. Then came Breda on 69. Ajax, young Ajax on 68, just ahead of Willem II on goal difference, who finished 5th on 68. FC Groningen finished 6th on 67. Den Haag 7th on 61. De Graafschap, they finished 8th on 60 points. And then at the bottom of the table, Telstar 18th on the bottom for a long period of time, managed to pull themselves clear in the last couple of games, 30 points in 18th. And then Eindhoven and Dordrecht both on 29. Just happened that Dordrecht had a worse goal difference than FC Eindhoven. And Topos was 4 points clear of Telstar at the start of the season. As you know, we like to break it down. So we're going to have a look at the first half of the season. And in the first half of the season, first 19 games, we were top, 43 points, some 5 points clear of Willem II in second place, and FC Groningen 6th on 38 as well. Telstar is at that point in time, as we well know, well stuck on the bottom, 5 points adrift of FC Eindhoven, and they did well to catch that up in the end. So we started off well. First half of the season was very, very good. Second half of the season, we remained top, only on goal difference, but we finished as champions both half of the season. Overall, against everybody else, Excelsior in second place, Young Ajax in third, Breda in fourth, and Willem II in fifth place. And that's how that all panned out. Dordrecht were worse in the second half. You see Telstar pulled themselves up here, and Helmond Sport and FC Eindhoven and Topos not performing particularly well in the second half of the season. Home records. Excelsior had the best home record, only lost 2 games all season. We only lost 2 games all season, but it's by margins as it turns out. Excelsior top on 43. Young Ajax was second on 43. Not quite sure. I think it must work out something like on heads. I'm not. Excelsior top. Young Ajax second. We were third at home. 41 points picking up. No, I presume it was because of the losses. So it would be points and then how many they lost at home. So finished third, 41, and then came Breda on 38, Den Haag on 37, and then De Graafschap on 36. Home record, Telstar didn't do too bad, and I think it was a home record that helped them out really. Helmond Sport, Dordrecht and Eindhoven having worse home records. In fact, Eindhoven only winning 4 games at home all season. One of those was against us, which was rather annoying. Away from home, we had the best record away from home, 7 points better than anybody else. Only lost 1 game away from home. That was that game against FC Eindhoven, believe it or not. 19 games played, 11 wins, 7 draws, 1 loss, 42-4, 15 against, 27 goal difference. Vastly superior to our next rivals, Willem II, then FC Groningen, Breda, Excelsior, who weren't so good away from home. Telstar were poor on the road. Dordrecht, Topos and Young PSV down the bottom. Right. That leaves us with just a couple of things to have a look at. One of them is the last 5 games. How did everybody pile in towards the end of the thing? As you see, our running wasn't particularly good. We finished down here, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 10th best in the running. 2 losses. Hang on, let's get this right. No, we drew all our games apart from 1, which we won. So that was where we dropped points. 4 draws, 1 win, no losses. Only picking up 7 points. Willem II and Breda are having great run-ins. They won 4 of theirs, drawn the other one. So they had a very, very good run-in. Dordrecht having the poorest of all runs form-wise, losing all 5 of their last 5 games. And that's how it all went. How did it compare to the media prediction? Well, according to this, we were predicted to be first. I don't remember that. We'll need to go back and have a look. But I'm not absolutely certain we were predicted to be first. I will go back and have a look at some point or other. But we did end up in first place. Excelsior ended up second. We're expected to be 5th. Breda were 3rd, expected to finish 4th. Young Ajax expected to finish 17th, finished 4th place. Willem II not doing so well. Groningen were expected to finish 2nd, ended up in 6th place. Den Haag a bit better than they hoped. De Graafschap not so good as they hoped. FC Emmen, who did get promoted via the playoffs in the end, we'll come to that in a moment, but they were 6th. And then Young AZ expected to finish 19th, finished 10th. Young Utrecht expected to finish 20th, finished 11th. Venlo 9th, expected to finish 9th, finished 12th. And down the bottom, we'll have a quick look at that now. Telstar were expected to finish 14th, finished 18th. Eindhoven expected to finish 12th, finished 19th. And Dordrecht expected to finish 10th, finished 20th. They had a very poor season anyway. Maastricht, midish table. So that's how the media prediction went, and we're pretty much on par. But as I said, I'm not sure that was the case early on. Right, let's have a quick look at the playoffs then. First round of the playoffs, Emmen played Breda, Graafschap played Willem II, Den Haag played FC Groningen, and basically FC Emmen beat Breda 4-3 on aggregate. Willem II beat Graafschap 4-0. and Den Haag beating Groningen 5-2. That was the first round. Second round, Emmen beat Willem on penalties 2-2 after the 2 legs, and FC 20, who come in, I think, from above, in the second round, they beat Den Haag, knocked Den Haag out 2 goals to 0. And then we got to the third round, where Emmen played FC 20, and FC 20 losing. That was a 2-leg. I didn't realise it was 2-leg final as well. Emmen beating FC 20. I think that is it. So Emmen have been promoted. If we actually go up now to the Eredivise, we can actually have a look, I think, he says. He's trying to work out how to get into here. Sure we can. Let's go back a couple of stages, get the league table back up, and then we can go and have a look at how the Eredivise finished up. There we go. The Eredivise, 2 teams go down. Cambuur and Kerkrade go down. They both went down. And FC 20 also relegated due to them losing in the playoff. So they will go down and play in the Keukenkampioen next season. And then, as we've already established, the teams that will play in the Eredivisie, ourselves, Waalwijk, Excelsior, and FC Emmen. That's how it will pan out next time around. Right, transfers wise, at this stage, 4th of June, not a lot going on. We will check the history. Vizcarra was the last person in. Takadine, the last one out. So nothing happening at the moment. We're going to jump forward to the start of July and see if there's any transfer activity. And here we are, and it is the 2nd of July, and we have one player, and I think we'd already signed him a little way back, and may well have mentioned it in one of the episodes, and being the 1st of July, he has joined us. It's Jacko Okasan. He comes in from Freiburg, and he can play as a defensive midfielder, he can play as a midfielder, and he can play as an attacking midfielder, but I think more often than not, he's going to be in that defensive midfield role. He's a ball-winning midfielder in defence there, can play as a deep-lying playmaker. So he's versatile up through the middle of the park. 3.5-star current ability. Has the potential to be a 4-star ability. And he's with us until the end of the 2028 season. So he's in for 3 seasons. And we've brought him in. He's come his career today. He's been around a little bit. Played in Finland. Is he Finnish? Let's just check him out again in a minute. He is Finnish, which is why he started his career in Finland, of course. Then moved to Brentford. Played a little bit in the Championship for Brentford. Just played a couple of odd games. Went on loan to Wimbledon. Didn't really play at Brentford, then went on to be on loan in Greenock Morton. Ended up going to Cups, back to Finland, where he played it in the Premier League, scoring 9 goals for them over 3 seasons, 8 assists, and 2 player of the matches, scoring over 7 on 2 seasons there. He then went on a free to Freiburg, where he spent 2 seasons, played in Liga 3 in Germany, making 12 appearances, a 6.81. Didn't do anything. I'm not quite sure why it's got 25-26 on there and then 24-25 on ours, but we've paid 450,000 for him to come in. We'll see how he comes, but we definitely needed some more impetus in that midfield. We have we have 2 other players that we've offered contracts to. Goalkeeper, we're going to have to offload some goalkeepers, but Tommy Setford, he's in on trial with us. He looks quite good. He's a youngster. I'm not saying he'll never necessarily start straight away, but I think he could be quite useful. 17 aerial reach, so he's quite good at collecting balls. Currently 2.5 stars, has the potential to be a 4.5 star player. So he's on our radar. He looks quite good, and I think he could be a useful player for us going forward. Look at his jumping reach. I quite like the look of him, and we'll see how he goes on. He's been with Young Ajax, so he's been at Ajax. And Young Ajax, 7 appearances for them, conceded 10 goals in those 7 appearances. But we'll see how he goes. So we have put a bid in for him, whether we get him or not. In fact, there's bids gone in from Den Haag as well, and 13 clubs are interested in him. So, yeah, whether we get him or not will depend. Hopefully, we will. So that is Tommy Setford. He is Dutch, so he will be happy and confident at home. And the other one that's been looked quite good as a trialist is Toure. Tijani Toure. He's an attacking midfielder. Can play on the left. He can play on the right, actually, but he's predominantly a left-sided attacker. Currently 3.5 stars. Has the potential to be a 3.5 stars. Got potential to be 5 star. Yeah, 5 star. Player. So could be very, very useful. He was at Feyenoord before being released. Vicante, FC Dordrecht, Paris Saint-Germain is where he started his career. He could be quite useful. Look forward to seeing whether we can get him in as well. Are we the only one with a bid in for him? We are the only ones in for a bid with him at the moment. So fingers crossed on that one. We'll bring you up to date with those as and when they happen. We haven't had, I think it's something like the 7th of July that we get the fixtures. So we're going to come back again with updates on the transfers, and we'll bring you the new fixtures, the fixture list, who we're going to play, and so on and so forth at that juncture in time. So you come back, it is the 2nd of August, and we have been quite busy. Players coming in. We've had a Selmani go out. More about that in a moment. But as we said just now, Tommy Setford, we were hoping to bring in. He is in. We have got him on a free. So Tommy Setford is a Waalwijk player. We won't look at him again because we've already looked at him. Lorenz Rossier, he is our next player in. He is a... Again, can play in defensive midfield, can also play as a central defender, can play in midfield as well. 4-star current ability, 4-star. He's a bit older, 26, so maybe close to his potential. He is a Eredivise player, so good pedigree in that midfield there, tackling a 14. He's got good natural fitness, jumping reach, so his heading's good. Balance, strength, 6'3". And I think he is a extremely good signing for us. Played at Fortuna Sittard in the Eredivise. Made 63 appearances for him. Scored 1 goal, 10 assists, and 3 player of the match. He's only scoring 6.8, so I'm hoping that he'll do a little bit better than that. He started out his career in France at Caen, then went to Paris FC. And then Suchal, and then went to Portugal, VTSC, and into their B side, Estoril Praia, where they ended up in the Premier League. So he's been around, but latterly in Holland, and I think he could be quite useful. Lorenz Rossier. He is French, which is where he started his career, of course, and we'll see how he goes. But I think he is an extremely good signing, worth £6 million, and we picked him up for nothing. So that is quite good. Did check to see he is on 6,775 a year. Toure, We did mention about him just now, hoping that he was coming. He comes in from the Iberian coast, and we've managed to secure him and his credentials. So started out at Paris Saint-Germain and went to Feyenoord. Then he went on loan to Dordrecht, Vicente, ended up at Feyenoord, back at Feyenoord, of course. And then he's ended up with us. He's played in the Premier League in Portugal for Vicente, 32 appearances, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6.93. That was his best season to date. Right. And finally coming in, Emil Hansen. He can play on the other side. In fact, he can play across the whole of that attacking midfield. There is a little caveat on here in a moment, and you'll probably see it up here. More about that in just a wee while. But he's been very good. Brought him in on trial, and he's been interesting. 4-star current ability. He's at Eredivise, close to his full potential, but he is Swedish. Stats stack up reasonably well. As I say, he has played well, and this is how he's done. He's been Hercules Almelo for 4 seasons. Went there on an undisclosed fee from Fortuna Sittard. He was on loan with Waalwijk, both in 2018-19 and 2019-20. So he's fully aware of us. Played in the Eredivise, scored a goal for us. So this won't be his first time with us, and scored 12 goals for us in the Keukenkampioen back in 2018-2019. 35 appearances for us on that occasion. So he's returned to us for a 3rd time. Started out at Brann in Norway, then went to Feyenoord, Hanover, Fortuna Sittard. So he spent a lot of time here in Holland. He's really sort of settled in to the Holland ways, and the last couple of seasons at Hercules Almelo, he has made 110 appearances, scored 7 times, 20 assists and 6 player of the matches, averaging about 6.93 over the last couple of seasons. So he's very exciting to have that back in. Giante Samani. Now, what I was going to tell you about was spending wise, we have a budget 126,000. We might need to tweak. Do we have any yarns that we've got? Nothing in the fire at the minute, but there are a couple of other spots that we'd like to fill before we kick off the season too much. So what we've done is we've done a review of the players that we've got, where we're overloaded in certain areas and we need to offload. So we have put a few of the players out for you see, we've got quite a few trialists in still at the moment, and we've put a few of them out that we're not going to use. Salmani being one of them. We've listed him. He's actually gone out on loan. We'll come to that in a moment. But we've also looked at a couple of other players down here, and I can't see them now. Maybe we did it after this, because I am ahead of myself a little bit. But we have looked at the players, and there are a few of them we've put on the market, so to speak. And when we do the season preview in a minute, I'm sure we will catch up on them and find out exactly who is likely to be leaving us on loan or permanently or whatever. Let's go back to that transfer for Salmani. The deal that we've struck, I'm pretty certain in saying, is that there is an option on him at the end of the season. As decent Eredivise player, he's 3-star, but the fact that he's only got a potential of 3-star, and didn't really do it for us when he came in. So I think Viscara could go the same way as well. Can we see? Yeah, here we go. Option of 575,000 is the option on him for the for them to buy. So that's where we are. But either way, he is off our books, and I think they're paying 100% of his wages. 10k, yeah, they are paying his wages. So that's eased our little bit of budget, which means that we have the option to probably to bring in another couple of players. That's what we're targeting anyway. Right, with that all said and done, let's have a look at the fixture list. We have played a number of pre-seasons, but I'm going to pick those up in the pre-season preview because we'll have completed them by then. But you'll see we open our Eredivise season with Sparta Rotterdam and Feyenoord. You can see those in the next episode, which is out on Thursday. The first two matches of our Eredivisie season, Sparta Rotterdam and Feyenoord. Christmas just ahead of the Christmas ahead of the half-season break. We play Feyenoord again. So just before the halfway, that's when it all turns around. And then Sparta Rotterdam immediately after the winter break. And they are the two matches either side of that. And we finish up the season against FC Volendam and AZ. So they are that is the fixture list, and it will become more apparent as we go. The teams that came up with this: Excelsior we play here, and FC Emmen we play in September. So that's what is coming up. What we're going to do now is we are going to jump forward very, very slightly. We're going to preview the brand new season and have a final look at the rest of the players that we've brought in. And here we are on the 8th of August. We're a day away from the start of the season, which you can see in the next episode. So join me for that. But we have one more transfer in. Bruno Martins Indy. He has been on trial with us. He has performed quite well. Can play as a central defender and can also play on the left. He is quite versatile. He's a little bit older, 33 years old, but will add experience to that back line. He is a 3.5 star Eredivise player. Unlikely to improve, I would think so, at that age. Has been around a little bit, but don't hold that against him. Started out at Feyenoord, then went to Porto, Stoke, where he spent 4 seasons in the English Premier and Championship. Then he went to AZ on loan. And then on a free to AZ once Stoke let him go, and played 4 seasons for AZ before being released by them. And he made 58 appearances for AZ, most of them in the Euro. In fact, in the Eredivisie, scored 2 goals, 6 assists, and he's a 6.96 average rating. So all very good. So he is our new player at the back there. That is the last one coming in at the moment. We do have some more irons in the fire. Kon Temezhnikov, who, as I think we said in the end of season review, started quite well when he came in, but he went off the boil somewhat, and he's a 2.5 star, 3 star at best potential. He's gone out on loan with an option to buy. A future fee, £800,000. So we've made a profit on him because we bought him in for free. But he has gone out on loan. So we've loosened the wage budget a little bit because he was on quite a lot of wages, if I remember right. Let's have a quick look. 4.8 thousand. What is his contracted? He is on monthly fee of 12,000. He's on 4,800. So I think they're paying 100% of his wages, which is good news. So that again frees up the old money a little bit to do what we want to do. As I said, we are a couple of irons in the fire. One of the player areas of the pitch that we hadn't managed to fulfill, we wanted back up to Latonda, and we've got Alexander Dramberev is a possible. We've got an offer in for him, but there are a number of other teams that are in for him as well. In fact, nobody at the moment. I thought there was. FC20 are interested in him, but we have an offer in for him, so we're hoping that he's Ukrainian, currently 3.5 star. He doesn't look as if he will improve massively, but we'll see. Yeah, he's done quite well in the pre-season. So we're hoping that he will come in. Probably won't be in for the first game of the season, but we'll see. And the other one that we've been looking out for is Cordoba. Inigo Cordoba, this is the one that's got lots of teams. Elche and Cardiff also interested in. Can play as a winger, can also play up front. We've played him up front a little bit during pre-season. 4-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, again because of his age. But he's been around in Spain a lot. He is Spanish, been Spain a lot. Go Ahead Eagles here in Holland. And then Fortuna Sittard scored 11 goals for them over his career. So we'll see how that comes off, but he is quite useful when it comes down to it. Let's have a look at the pre-season then. It is complete. We've got 4 straight wins, 6-0 win against Nordic. As you'll see, Cordoba scoring in that one. Peter, who we've not really brought in, FC20, that was the Eredivise sort of link. 1-0 win there. Brasica, a 1-0 win. Hartes, the scorer, and US Orleans, Martins, Indy, Cordoba, and Bande, the scorers. Some of those you will see, some of those you won't see as we go forward. Right, so that's where we're at. We have one thing left to do, and that is look at the pre-season season preview. That's what we want. We don't have anybody in the Dream 11, I believe, but we do have a couple of players in here. Hansen and Rossier, the 2 players that appear in the key players of the division. We'll see as it goes. We are expected to finish 9th, 350-1 to finish 9th this season. Feyenoord expected to be champions. Ajax second, PSV, AZ, the big 4. Basically, FC Utrecht, Heerenveen, Nijmegen, and Sparta Rotterdam, our first opponents, 7th and 8th. And then the teams coming up with us, Emmen, expected to finish 18th, and Excelsior finishing 16th. So out of the 3 teams coming up, we are the ones that expected to finish mid-table. And if we finish about 9th, I would say we've done a very, very good job. And we'll see if we can push that a little bit further than that. Think that's pretty much brought you up to date. I don't think there is a great deal else to tell you. One other going out, Guillermo Vizcarra. There are some offers in for him, 100% of his wages, so that is quite good because his wages are quite high, if I remember rightly, 10,000. Yeah, he's been offered. Excelsior, Fortuna, Sittard, and Vitesse. They all want him. So, and I think, if my memory serves me right, let's go back here. Are they options to buy? They aren't options to buy. They're only loans out for the season, but they're paying his wages, which is the biggest thing for us. And we'll see how he does out. I think we will have a recall on him if we desperately need him to bring him back. Right, that's it then. Roundup of our pre-season. We're going to get ready, and we're going to come back on Thursday for the first 2 games of the new season. Sparta Rotterdam and Feyenoord, the 2 games that we are going to play. And I hope you join me for them. We'll bring you up to date with any other transfers that we're coming in that time span as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, keeps you up to date with all future episodes Going Dutch and our other series, bottom to the top, as they are released. New episodes of Going Dutch are released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date what's happening on this channel is to follow me on X at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 18. It's our first 2 games of our Eredivisie season, and it's out on Thursday. Until then, goodbye. Don't forget the shirt video should be out on Wednesday. Till then, bye-bye.